Like you said, great family man, a lot of honor, and he always been great to me to give me advice through my whole life. And his wife is even better than him, but that's for sure. Hey, happy wife, happy life, man. You have to learn. But it's very nice to see all the love for Nico, and we all love him, and I wish him luck and in a great campaign. Thank you very much.
Wow. How do I follow that? I mean, you get the big guy over there that never talks, and then he says something so nice. We're usually busting each other's chops, but I'm very honored, guys. I don't even know where to begin. I mean, I think everyone said it right. I first begin by thanking the Lord for never giving up on me. And even in times in my life when I gave up on myself through trials and tribulations that we all go through in life, right? And so I give him glory and honor first. Secondly, I have to honor the person who's the backbone in our house, who is the queen, who teaches me every day what it really means to serve. She serves without complaint. She serves without expecting anything back. She serves with joy and love and doesn't want any credit for it. And I'm honored. And for some reason, the good Lord put her in my life, and I walk grateful every day for her. And that's my wife, Davida. And I have to thank my children because Papi has missed many bedtimes throughout this process, and I'm going to miss many more. But there's a higher purpose here, not higher than my children, but a calling that I'm doing. And so they have gotten in it with us, and it's a family commitment. And I got the green light before I went forward. This is Maya. Say hi, mommy. And so I want to acknowledge that. I want to acknowledge my law partner, Andrew. That's the guy with the big arms right there. He puts up with it and supports us at the office because we still have to support our families and represent our clients honorably. And they expect that, and we do that. And so along with my staff, I know our staff is here as well, and they're scattered. There they are. So we want to thank them. Thank you, ladies. I want to thank my little brother. He's 6'2", but he's still my little brother in my mind. The big hairy guy in the back. Is a joy. It's been a joy to see him grow up. We're 6 years apart, so when we were younger, we weren't as close as we are now, but I'm so proud of the man that he's developed into be. There's so many other people to thank. I mean, everyone on stage here, look at what this. This is a wonderful reflection of the support that we have and the campaign that we have, and I'm just honored. I'm so honored. I mean, the example that the senators, both Van de Putte and Carlos Oresti, have shown in my life to be public servants, not politicians. Because, folks, I don't want to be a politician, okay? Let's get that straight. I want to be a public servant, and I've had wonderful examples of that. Councilwoman Viagran, Councilman Chris Medina, Ray Saldana, Ray Lopez has been a supporter, Justin Rodriguez, Mr. Aldrete, my second mom with permission, with my mom. So just what a joy, and I'm missing somebody because I don't want to give you guys my back, and I don't want to do that. Thank you, Pastor. Thank you. But I want to take a point of personal privilege. And I want to acknowledge my parents. They have shown me what it's like to make a covenant with each other in good and bad, sickness and in health, till death do them part. And I don't even like saying death until we pass on the other side of heaven. And they've shown that to us. They've gone through tragedy, trials, tribulations, and they're still here. And so I want to acknowledge my mom because when I looked for characteristics in a wife, a lot of them my mom has, not all of them. But a lot of, but almost all of them. And so I want to acknowledge my mom, Norma LaHood. And then there's my pop, a man of service, a man of very few words. He'd rather give you a wave and a nod and a smile. But when he does talk, it has a lot of meaning behind it. And the older I get, the more I turn into my pop and say my popisms. And I'm honored to turn into the man that he is. And I want to take a point to honor him on the day many years ago. I won't say Pop, the good Lord put you on this earth, and that day was today. Today's his birthday. And so there's no campaigning right now. It's all about my pop to honor the man that has shown me an example. Can we sing happy birthday? 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mr. LaHood. Happy birthday to you. I'm missing so many other people. My Bible study group is here. I appreciate them being here. There's a lot of friends and family here, and I'm just honored. But I realize many of us here probably don't think day in and day out about the district attorney's office. But as a dad, and for all the parents here, we do think day in, day out about the safety of our children and loved ones. Just think about the last time you visited your child at school. You're reminded how drastically the world we grew up has changed. The doors are locked. You need the intercom to the office. No one walks in without signing in, and no one walks out without signing off. The world we knew it, folks, is unfortunately gone. Children don't grow up innocent anymore, but we can't afford them to be naive to reality either. The district attorney's office is tasked with an incredible responsibility. We rely on the DA's office to function within the justice system and protect our children, our parents, and our loved ones. It's referred to as law and order for a reason. The police can take bad guys off the street, but the DA can keep them off the street. Or, in the right circumstances, get them the help they need to make sure they don't re-enter the justice system, to provide a structure in becoming contributing members of our society again. And that can happen, folks. I've seen it over and over again. Whether it's protecting our seniors from scams and fraud, prosecuting white-collar crime that robs hard-working families of their savings, or ensuring women and children walk the streets freely without fear. The district attorney's office is at the heart of our sense of security, our peace of mind, and our resilience as a community. It's not widely known, but around the courthouse there is a growing number of law enforcement personnel, attorneys, victims' rights advocates, and even judges who see a disturbing decline in the job performance of our current DA, Susan Reed. Morale at the DA's office is at an all-time low. Veteran prosecutors are leaving one after another, and that should concern us all. This is shown with the growing pattern of mistakes made by Susan Reed's office, mistakes that have actually led to murderers walking free. There is a cost to the lack of proper assessment and to the lack of proper development of cases. The cost isn't just monetary. We pay an even higher cost when the guilty escape accountability. We also pay when we miss an opportunity to save a young person's life from being stuck in the justice system. It's a loss our community and to the families involved. And then there's the lack of procedures and support for the mentally ill and for people with substance abuse issues. The cost on taxpayers rise and the line to the jailhouse grows longer and longer. In Bexar County, we have over an 80% repeat offender rate, and that percent, folks, drastically needs to drop. It's like the house that doesn't have a working home alarm system but still displays a fake home alert sign in the garden. The district attorney's side of Bexar County's law and order has increasingly grown for show only. As your district attorney, I would go into the office on day one with a 5-point plan of reform. 1, I would immediately update the intake process. Pairing veteran prosecutors with younger attorneys would ensure that cases are developed right from day one. I would establish a training program to ensure prosecutors are armed with the trial skills for success in court. This would increase proper convictions, not wrongful ones, minimize backlog in the courts, saving tax dollars, and bring closure to victims in our community. Overall, eliminating the mistakes that have been a regular occurrence in Susan Reed's office. 2, I would sit down with law enforcement, probation, treatment facilities to establish open lines of communication. Our community benefits from a justice system that interacts and works together for a safer community. 3, I would implement a process to help us think differently about nonviolent crimes. This is an issue that unites Democrats and Republicans alike. Putting nonviolent offenders behind bars from the start, where we pick up the tab for housing and food, is a waste of time, taxpayer dollars, but most importantly, human potential. Drug treatment, counseling, proper structure, and accountability have been proven to be more effective and to get people working and paying taxes rather than costing tax dollars. 4, I would bring our technology and forensics up to date. At times, the current DA, Susan Reed, has come across as believing her office can make no mistakes. But it's time Bexar County takes an honest assessment at our forensics technology and DNA analysis. This is not just a matter of ensuring innocent people are not wrongfully charged like the Michael Morton situation. It's also a matter of ensuring those guilty are held accountable. We've got to get it right, folks. I was asked in an interview last week, what would keep you up at night, Nico? I didn't understand the question. I said, my 1-year-old? I don't know what would keep me up at night. A lot of things keep me up at night. They said, what would you worry about if you were the DA? And without hesitation, I said, getting it right. We have to get it right in the DA's office. I would address a very serious issue we all hold dear to our hearts, and it deals with our children. Scripture tells us that children are a gift from God. Our community tells us that children are our future. We need to start acting like they are, and we need to put our actions where our mouth is. In Bexar County, we have a crisis, folks. We lead the state out of all 254 counties in child abuse cases. We have seen a 50% increase in child abuse cases in the last 10 years. Harris County, that has 3 times the child population as Bexar County, we have a higher child abuse rate than them. This trend cannot continue. I would establish a special prosecutorial division that would specifically address child abuse cases. I will work with organizations like CASA, and that is Children Advocates of San Antonio, the Children's Shelter, CPS, the Blue Ribbon Task Force, Senator Carlos Oresti started up, and other community organizations that are fighting day in and day out to address this dilemma. What Bexar County needs is an experienced trial attorney with management skills. If case referrals can be considered the ultimate form of legal flattery, even my primary opponent has referred cases to me specifically because of my trial experience, and I'm grateful for that. I've served as a special prosecutor in Bexar and surrounding counties. When conflicts of interest arise between DA's offices, as they have here in San Antonio and elsewhere, prosecutors like myself are called in to evaluate and eventually try those cases. I've successfully prosecuted cases ranging from drug offenses to aggravated assault with deadly weapon to sexual assault of a child. I've also had the distinct honor of serving as a magistrate judge in Bexar County. This experience I'm very proud of because I was unanimously appointed and confirmed by all 9 district court judges, both Democrat and Republican. I presided over extensive dockets, reviewed and approved search warrants, made sure accused citizens knew their rights, and determined whether a case had legal sufficiency to move forward. I've had the distinct honor of being asked by law enforcement agencies to teach in their academy classes. I've taught at SAPD Training Academy on report writing and courtroom demeanor, and I've also taught at ACOG, the Alamo Area Council of Governments, which is another law enforcement agency, in their moot court classes. I've been humbled and honored to be recognized by my peers statewide and in publications for my knowledge in criminal law. For 6 years in a row, I was honored and recognized among the top 2.5% attorneys in the state of Texas. Thank you. And folks, I also bring a very unique perspective to this race that I wish I didn't have. An experience that doesn't typically show up on a resume. I've seen the justice system through the eyes of a victim. As many of you know, my brother was murdered in my parents' driveway in 1996. I know what it's like to sit through a trial, waiting for a verdict, sitting on this side of the bar, wanting justice for your family. I know what it's like to stare at an empty chair at the dinner table during Christmas time, wishing your loved one was here with you. And I know my mom is stronger now, but I know what it's like to hear a mama cry the way that only a mama can cry. I would bring that compassion and drive and determination for justice for victims in our community. I wish I wasn't the most qualified, folks, but I am. Here's the bottom line. Bexar County needs new vision in the district attorney's office, and I have that vision. And if entrusted by you to do so, I will take an oath I have taken before, and an oath that all prosecutors in the state of Texas take. That oath is not a pledge to seek convictions. It's a pledge to seek justice. If the case calls for something as severe as the death penalty, as it did for the murderers of my own brother, I will seek it. But the severity within the penal code should not be used for political grandstanding and should not be taken lightly. We are dealing with people and lives, and this is not a game. But if the case calls for a better understanding of mental health issues or recognition that a young child's incarcerated daddy needs drug treatment and parental counseling, I will seek justice for that situation as well. I've talked about the balance between law and orders, folks, but in Bexar County, we need to add one more component, and that's you. That's community. Because strong communities are safe communities, where neighbors look after each other, where parents volunteer in schools, and where trust exists between neighbors and the criminal justice system. Strong communities require a district attorney who is willing to reach out, to educate, to raise awareness, and build relationships in the community. Strong communities require a district attorney to come down from their ivory tower above the people, becoming one with the people, and honestly and openly address issues from child abuse to gang violence to substance abuse. We need a DA who will work in partnership with law enforcement and community organizations to make our streets safer. Make no mistake, people aren't born into a strong community. They work together to build them. And that's what this campaign's all about. Together we can reform the DA's office, strengthen public safety, strengthen the promise of justice. Because in the end, listen to me, communities are not judged by the amount of people in prison, but by the amount of people that are not. We're going to win this race with your help. I have a message to my opponents. I do not live in fear, and God did not wire me to be afraid. I've never avoided a fight in my life, and I'm not starting now. I'm so thankful for your time being here. You could have had your time anywhere else. I'm so honored by everyone. Everyone is important, from the volunteers, what incredible volunteers we have to sacrifice their time, to you, your time here. It matters to me. I'll never forget it. I truly pray God's blessings over each one of you, and I look forward in November, but first in March, to get past the primary, to be your district attorney, God willing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Woo!
I don't know exactly how this is going to work, and you all need to be patient and be very civil, because we're going to invite you to take pictures with our next district attorney in the back. And also, Timmy, are you going to stay for pictures or no? You will? And is Tony still here? Okay. And our great basketball player, Tim Duncan, will be back there to take pictures with you too. But everybody line up. No pushing, shoving, that kind of stuff. Thank you.
All the media, Nico will be doing one-on-one interviews with all the TV stations and print right in the back.
Probably not. I mean, he was right here next to me, so that's good. Is that right? Nico at LHDClaw.com.
I'm in. I promise you, Mom. You know you text me, I'll go there.
Okay.
Come here, Maya, go
Sheila,
talk.
are we taking a picture with Tim?
Yes.
Right here?
Yes, go, puppy, come on. Hold on, she has